Questions tonight about the Iraqi strategy coming from an American veteran fighting with the Kurds. Correspondent Benjamin Hall has the latest from Erbil, Iraq tonight.
In the town of Fazilia today, to the east of Mosul, jubilant residents poured onto the streets to greet their liberators, freed from the clutches of ISIS. But Kurdish fighters on the opposite side of the city tell a very different story. There, Kurdish special forces told Fox News how they watch hundreds of ISIS cars travel freely back and forth to Mosul every day. David Shumok, a 62-year-old US Special Forces veteran fighting with the Kurds, explained.
We see up to 500 vehicles a day moving east and west, resupplying Mosul to Lafar, and there's nothing we can do.
As he watches these convoys, Shumok explained how they're bound by rules of engagement. They can't attack unless they identify who's inside the vehicle. It's to protect civilians. But today, fears of a massacre were already growing, as the UN said it had new information the militants were using civilians as human shields.
Credible reports suggest that ISIL has been forcing tens of thousands of people from their homes in sub-districts around Mosul and have forcibly relocated numbers of civilians inside the city itself.
In the desert nearby lies a constant reminder of what happens to civilians held by the terror group, the decaying bodies of thousands of Yazidis. This is one of the many mass graves that has been found in the area. It's hard to imagine how hundreds of people at a time were rounded up at their villages and brought here into this barren landscape, lined up against a trench and systematically shot. But that is exactly what's happened, and you can see the evidence. You can see the bullet holes in the skulls. You can see the remains of their clothes. This is where hundreds of people were executed by ISIS. So, as airplanes by the coalition and forces watch ISIS cars move back and forth freely between Syria and Mosul, as ISIS reinforces that city with human shields and supplies and gets ready for the offensive, the logic is that keeping the Western front open will somehow protect civilians. The reality, though, is likely to be very different. Brett?
Benjamin Hall live in Erbil, Iraq, early Saturday morning. Benjamin, thank you.